well be his third Super Bowl MVP award.
Right, and a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49ers!
Wow! The greatest feeling in the world, is it not? And no one can ever take it away from us. Ever!
Play action passes caught. Use check. Touchdown. Looking, firing end zone. Caught.
Hey, what's up, 49er faithful? So a lot has transpired over the last 4 or 5. Well, last Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I guess Saturday, right? So 4.5 days, somewhere around there, since the game from against Philadelphia. The press conference in the middle of the week. We've heard of Fred Warner's out there, open up the practice window. We'll get into that, and hopefully Cal will address some of these things. And hopefully Ricky Pearsall I'm hoping he can play this week as well.
Our injuries for the day: Tim Winters ankle won't practice. Jair Brown hamstring won't practice.
Okay. Brown is still limping, and we know that Brown had was injured in the game. Where was it? Pignock or Siegel? One of those came in there, replaced him.
Gifford quad won't practice. Pooney ankle limited. Keon White groin hamstring limited. Ricky Pearsall knee limited.
Oh, that's the one I was hoping to hear. He's limited. So, I know it's Wednesday, but I think they do need to practice. I think there has to be like a protocol where they practice at least two times a week or something. And they have to. So I think there's like a protocol where they have to practice a certain amount of times in a week. I don't think they have to go full go, but they just have to practice, what have you, to be able to be activated for the game on Saturday.
Yetur knee limited. Trent hamstring / vet day. Go ahead.
Trent's always going to get the vet day. We all know that, right? And that's fine. Just as long as we put him out there, that's all I'm worried about. If he got to rest the whole week or just put him at limited, that's fine. We know what he is and what he does in the games, you know.
You said you were hoping this game would be on Sunday, but you thought it would be on Saturday. But if they were cool, they might have done it differently. When you heard it was definitely Saturday, what was your response?
I kind of prepared for that mentally, so it is what it is. Ready to go.
Did you know before they announced it last night, so you could start your daily plan?
Yeah, we found out we were going Saturday after the game Sunday night, after New England won. We didn't find out the time until last night.
You guys had a short week. You had a short week going into week 18 against this team. Are you doing anything differently this week in terms of rest, in terms of practice, in terms of going full speed in any of the practices that you didn't do?
Different than that week, or just?
That week.
I mean, that week we didn't do one thing full speed because it was our third game in 13 days. So it wasn't just that short week. It was the 2 weeks before short week.
That's exactly what I like to hear from Kyle. By the way, Kyle Shanahan, I don't know why other coaches are coming up as Coach of the Year. I have no idea. I guess they have to nominate 3 people, right? 3 or 4 people. But Kyle Shanahan, by far, is Coach of the Year. By far. I've had my reservations with Kyle. I've had criticism of Kyle. But this year has proven to me that Kyle Shanahan is not just a play caller. He is a great head coach.
Weeks also, so doing it this week, I mean, that's what we got to do today. Change the times up. We usually bring them in for about 7 hours a day. They're only in for about 3.5. We'll do all walkthrough, nothing full speed. We won't go against each other at all. and then we'll see how it goes. Let's see how guys feel and decide what we want to do tomorrow.
Matt Jones said before the first Rams game that you were aware of the spread and it annoyed you because it was so lopsided. Are you currently aware that the Niners have the worst Super Bowl odds, and does that annoy you too?
No, and I think Mac was just talking. I was just messing with him before the game. I actually have never taken a spread personally.
That was Grant right there. That was Grant. Grant is a fan. He finally admitted his fandom. Even Kyle laughed at him. Kyle thought it was funny too. And I think Grant, Grant is my favorite 49er YouTube channel, Grant Cohen. But I will believe at times Grant does throw out some asinine things that is hilarious, but it makes it entertaining. You know what I mean? Like every 49 creator, they're all stuck up and, want to be these journalists. No, you're fucking YouTuber doing 40. Yes, there are some of them that are really journalists, but let's be honest, like 70-80% of us are not journalists. We're just YouTubers. You know what I mean? And it's just like they're trying to be all professional and shit. You know what I mean? And it's like the same old dry content. But Grant is different because, he gives different, he just throws out these wild shit. And his personality evolved as well. Really like him or you hate him,
Seattle, you had some success late offensively. Can you build off that, or what were your thoughts on that last part of that game against Seattle?
Nothing happened differently on that one drive. It was just more of, when another team holds the ball for a while, similar to what we did in the first game, how on point you have to be. And whether that's doing better on first and second down, so you avoid as many third downs as we did. But if you don't do that, you got to do good on third down. And I think we converted like one third down in that game up till that point, and I think we got a field goal on that drive. But it's when a team holds the ball that long, if you're not doing the same by moving the chains well or playing at a high level on third down, that's usually how it's going to be.
How impactful is it that you'll have Trent back for this, especially for this divisional round, as opposed to the earlier game, the last game of the season when he was out with the hamstring?
Yes, it's obviously never easier when Trent's not out there. It was a big challenge not having him out there that game, but I thought for the most part Austin stepped up really well. Was not at all the reason that game ended up the way it was, but it was awesome having Trent back last week, and we're going to really embrace having him back this week.
What is from the players at all? Are they coming in late today, or?
Yes, yeah.
You get a feel for your staff, how you feel? Do you feel like still have the effects of the game, or you do feel tired right now, guys around you?
I feel great. I feel showered, fresh. It's fun wearing my Crocs.
Love the Crocs. I wear my Crocs too. I got two pairs, but I wear Soleil Benberry. Those are like, if you don't know who he is, he's the he does a collab with Crocs, and he is the fashion designer at Louis Vuitton Sport. You gotta get those the Crocs is dope as shit. They're always selling out, but he's dope as. But yes, Crocs are my best. Even in the winter time, it could be 30 degrees outside. I really don't feel it on my feet like that, but I wear my Soleil Benberry Crocs, man. So comfortable, man. The Crocs and the Nike shoes. The Nike Crocs. I can't think of the name of it all. It's slipping my mind. Let me know in the chat.
I'm going to brush my teeth here in a second and get going. I'm just joking. I did that early. I'm not like that, but no, it is what it is. You're like that this time of year. We kind of been in a hole for about 7 months, and once you get to the playoffs, it really doesn't matter. Everyone's into it. So whether they gave us 3 days, 1 day, 8 days, you always have your preferences for common sense reasons, but whenever you get dealt your hand, you're ready to roll.
What time are they reporting the players coming in today?
They came in at 10. Yeah, they came in at 10.
You team twice so quickly, just affect the game planning, strategy heading into the game.
How do you what?
They affect the game planning, we play your team twice, so then,
you'll see when you get to the game, but it's you definitely can't overthink it. But it's also, at the same time, kind of hard to overthink. Not anything has gone down since the last game. Well, they got to watch 70 or so plays of whatever we did versus Philly. But, we get in late, whatever, and, there's one game for us to watch, and that's the one that we all watched last week. So you only can watch us so much. We know each other very well. We played against each other a ton. The schemes, even last time we played, didn't change much on both sides as opposed to week one. So
exactly, there's not much. It's just being healthy is pretty much it. Just towards the end of the season, you're in the playoffs now. It's not so you're pretty much built a nucleus. Even though the 49ers have the Cinderella story right now, kind of like the Bad News Bears, the what would be another, the Little Giants, and the Major League Baseball team movie, Major League movie, those type of teams that they just have the outcast, with a couple here and there stars, but nothing but outcasts, third, fourth, people off the street, old players that were really good or past their prime, filling in. But just getting healthy bodies back. And that's why I think Ricky Pearsall is going to be a very big deal to get back, because he makes Seattle play at a game plan a lot different than they would, and they have I would say he would be the number one receiver. I would put him over Jennings as the number one receiver. I would say Kittle would be the number one receiver, but Kittle's hurt. Speedy recovery to him.
I think both teams got an idea of exactly what to expect. There's always wrinkles and timing and situational where you're going to see that stuff, but it kind of simplifies everything, which usually the playoffs as a whole are kind of that way too.
There's already online talk between
Nick Martin's cleared through, at least is able to come back now off IR. Was it even activated him?
No, he's still in the protocol. Yeah, still in protocol.
There's already online talk about between your guys and Seahawks players. Would you say that's a positive or a negative thing when guys are kind of smack talking during the week online?
Like them personally?
Like one player already commented on Fred Warner's Instagram, the road ends here, brother, and there was stuff after week 18 with Kenneth Walker, Jason, and Demo.
Yeah, I think that's all like wrestling, I guess. Just fake entertainment, and if it distracts someone or gets them out of preparation or something, or they lose their emotions during the game and they make things personal or something, then of course, but I think everyone's just having fun.
What was the ball on the final play, on the final touchdown of CMC, and were there plays earlier in the game that you felt like set that play up or that shot?
I mean, it's more, there's man-to-man routes all over, so I mean, every out-breaking route you have, you want to end breaking route off of it. So there's a combination of, there's 5 guys who got out on the route. So I wouldn't say that play was exactly set up, but there was definitely routes that our players run throughout the game that are the opposite on that play.
When Waller first popped up on your radar as a professional athlete, what was your first impression?
Mine was first day of practice when they told me we got a guy up Denver's practice squad. And
that's Grant. That's a good question, Grant. Good job, Grant. Good question. Guys, Wallow came in there, started. I'm like, who is this guy? And then within like 4 plays I said, whoa, this Wallow guy's all over the place. Where did this guy come from,
I got to meet him in the special teams room before we went out there. It was cool to talk to him, ask him how Dre was doing, how Huff was doing, how DJ was doing. Talked a little bit about his time in Houston, and then got to go out and watch him out in practice. And right away you could tell, and I felt pretty excited of who we got. You never know when you get a guy who's on someone else's practice squad how they're going to be. And but right away you could tell he was an NFL player with a lot of upside and who knew what he was doing.
We know how loud it is in Seattle. We're talking to fans who are making the trip on Saturday. How vital is the 49er fan base to show up?
Oh, always. I mean, our fan base shows up better than anyone to me in the NFL.
Absolutely, we do.
Wherever I've ever been, by far. I think it's always harder in the playoffs. For some reason, I don't know how it works, but stadiums do a better job of getting into their home fans. But
that's a shot. Okay, so if you don't know by now, Seattle fans, and they're trying to get the Seattle ticket office or the Seattle office, whatever, to reach out to fans and say, don't sell your tickets because the 49er fans are going to buy up the tickets and we want to make sure we're the loudest, which I thought was like, if if you're Seattle fans or whatever, or you just have tickets, and I think if they want to sell their tickets, they should sell their tickets by threatening your own fan base, because maybe the person can't make the game. Ever thought about that? Or maybe they need the money. They need the financial issues, and playoff tickets could be thousands of dollars. Maybe they need the money, and to threaten them, not you sell their tickets, we're gonna take your ticket registration, whatever there is, away is ridiculous. Stay classy, Seattle.
Our fans roll deep, so hopefully it'll be the same as usual.
Once you look at the film, did Siegel, Wallow, and Kendricks play as well as it appeared, and have they set themselves up for being more substantial roles down the road?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I think they had kind of done that regardless. Siegel showed us early in the year. We see him at practice every day. We never knew when his out would come, and right when Tig went down, he was ready, and he did play as good as it felt live. Kendricks, another story, just coming out of off the street, being at home. But all those guys played at such a high level.
And let's not forget how great Kendricks. If you don't know, let's do something real quick. I'm not going to go off too well for you guys watching. Just relax a little bit. Eric Kendricks, right? Let's look at his stats. Okay, so this is Eric Kendricks' stats, okay? I just want to show you that he was an excellent football player. So I remember him with the Vikings. Okay, so then he had some really good years with the Vikings. Look, he was getting sacks. He started in 2015. He got 4 sacks as a linebacker. 2 sacks. 1 sack. But look at the tackles. He was getting 70 tackles, 72 tackles, 63, 70 tackles. For the Vikings, 2021, I think was his best. No, yeah, that was his best year. He had 2021. He had 81 tackles. He assisted on 62 tackles. He had 5 sacks and 2 interceptions, and he ran that interceptions for 22 yards. So I guess total, it could be total off those 2 interceptions. But if you look at the 87, 50, look at these numbers aren't that far of a drop. Even with Dallas, 71, 67, had 3 sacks with Dallas, 2 interceptions, had a total 15 yards, probably a return on those total 15 yards. So look at this. Even the year before with the Chargers, this is why I'm amazed that this guy didn't get picked up. I don't know if it's because he was playing for 11 years, but I mean, even his last 3 years. Look at this. Last 3 or 4 years, he was really productive. So it's amazing to me this guy's off the street like that, But I just want to kind of show you. And he was an all-pro, I believe, in a couple of those years. But last year, he had a really good numbers. You guys just seen it. So it's just amazing to me. When I said Kendricks, I said the 49ers picked up Kendricks. I said, whoa. He may not. I remember him from Dallas because I was watching Trey Lance a lot last year with Dallas. I always root for Trey regardless. But I was like, wow, he's doing really, really, he's doing really good down there. He's been playing for a long time. And then I said, why does he? I thought he was on Dallas. So I was actually surprised they actually released him or didn't re-sign him.
Level, and that's what we need. We've had a lot of guys injured, so guys have to come in and step it up, and we'll see how our team is this week. Some of those guys are still injured, so we're not sure how the week will go, but based on how those guys did last week, it definitely gives you a lot more confidence going in the game.
Is there one update about whether or not Fred will come back?
What's that?
Has there been an update as to whether or not Fred could
We're activated, we're opening his window, so he can do some stuff like that, but again, we're not doing much, so he'll walk through out there with us today and things like that, but hoping he can be ready for next week.
I asked you about Seattle's defense last week, and kind of another on that front.
So there it is. They said next week. So they're looking to give him another week. And put him in the championship game, against the Rams, most likely. It'll be the Rams. That's my pick. I'm hoping it's the Rams. to be on the rail between Chicago and the Packers. I mean, it's pretty much 50-50. I'm not going to lie to you. But a piece of me wants the game, LA to win. Not because I'm a fan of their team or support them. It's because we know as 49er supporters, I don't like the word fans too much, but as supporters, we know that Levi's South, where the Rams play, is going to be flooded in red and will be like a championship game at home for the 49ers. So that's why I'm hoping for the Rams to win.
What makes their D so tough? Is it the front? Is it the speed of that second
Boss.
level? Is it down on the backside of McDonald? What kind of...
All four of it. I think they're extremely talented at all three levels. I think they have a very good scheme that's very balanced and they can hit you in any way. I think the personnel not only is talented for any scheme, but it's perfectly talented for their scheme. And I think they've been playing with not the exact same group, but close to the same group for 2 straight years. And when you have a talented group with a very good scheme that's been playing together for 2 years, you get pretty good.
Yep, and he gives Kyle Shanahan fits. Out of all the coaches, he did that back in Baltimore too. He always gives Kyle Shanahan fits. But this will be a good challenge for Shanahan as well. But I am very interested to see what's going on with Ricky Pearsall as well. That's I think will be a key factor. He plays, the 49ers offense just got a whole lot better because now they can open up the field more. They don't just have to, because Pearsall is not just a deep threat, which that will help, but he's a person who can run a route tree and he's super fast as well, and he gives him another dimension, another weapon.
He didn't have to post, he's ready whenever. Obviously, he's a player who wants to play, but do you have to hold him back a little yourself, or how do you kind of approach a situation like this?
Approached by what doctors tell me. I mean, I'm like Fred. If he feels good and tells me he's good, I'm probably going to think he's good and trust him to get out there. But you can't always think with your heart and emotionally, and so you ask doctors where he's at, all the things that these guys have to pass, just protocols that we have in, with just sprinting and jumping and things like that, and he's got to hit all those before he feels safe.
What's he been like in the last couple weeks? Has he been kind of trying to advocate to open the window, or has that been...
No, that's not Fred's style totally. He does that by showing how hard he's working on the side and knows that we're watching. And so he knows he doesn't have to do that to me as soon as he's ready. Obviously, it'll be zero decision on my part.
Have surgery and he'll be able to be around at all in the next couple of weeks.
He's supposed to. I believe he's supposed to have surgery tomorrow, so I think that would make it hard for this weekend. But we'll see after that.
Get well, kiddo. Get well, man. It's heartbreaking, but get well. I believe if anyone could come back, it'd be George Kittle, man.
Turnover, obviously, Kyle Thomas stepped down today as well.
But the 49ers need to go get a free agent. Tight end, David Njoku. I wonder what his contract looks like. That would be a person I would keep my eye on. Is Cal Pitts' contract up? Some tight ends out there. I don't know if they're contracts, but those names come to my mind. Athletic, big, fast tight end. Cal Pitts can't block as good, but he's elite. He's like Calvin Johnson at a tight end position. But David Njoku can block. He's more of a Kittle towards that. He's not as good. Kittle's the best blocking tight end in the league, so it's going to be hard to find someone for that shoes, but I feel like they're going to have to draft someone really good, or they're going to have to go in draft someone, or they're going to have to go into the free agency and get someone. I know that's the obviously thing, but I'm talking about getting someone when they draft third round tight end. You know what I mean? Not very rarely they're going to get a fourth, fifth round tight end again like Kittle. That just laying around, but you never know.
Does it
Does it feel like you're the second longest tenured coach in the NFL now? And of all your 9 seasons, is this the most teaching and innovating and creating that you've had to do?
No, it's shocking to think that Sean and I are probably second most tenured or something like that. Sean. So that does feel weird, but I do feel like we're getting older, so maybe that makes sense. And I want to say this is the most creative and innovative that we've been. I think we're doing what we always do, and sometimes you have injuries, you have a good record, so you get more attention for it, but I feel like we're doing the same thing we always do. Just try our hardest and try to prepare our players.
The long pass to Jennings after Kittle got injured, that's a throw Brock has made time and time again. It's an expert, but it looks hard. You got to fit over the linebacker before the safety gets there. If you learned a lot. If you had a quarterback that can make that throw better than Brock, and what does it take, from a quarterback to be able to do that?
Yeah, there's some core. Matt Ryan was pretty good at layering balls, but I don't say anyone's better than Brock at it. That's probably one of Brock's best things. He can really drop it in a bucket. Guys can be deep, and if there's a way to get over that guy and bring it down.
He's really got good at that. I noticed he's learned a lot from last year. Because last year he was throwing a lot of interceptions. But he's got really good at layering the ball. When you see me going over the 49ers games, you always see me telling how he layers the ball and gets the ball over the lineman at just the right moment. And I think Brock knows, hey, I'm only 6'1", 6.5 maybe. I'm not the tallest quarterback in the world, but one thing I will learn to do is make sure I layer balls over, get them out there faster, and layer them a certain way so where they can't get tipped. Because last year I was throwing interceptions and they were getting tipped a lot. And still he does that, but what QB doesn't throw interceptions? Even great QBs are throwing interceptions and bad passes, Peyton Manning couldn't even throw a spiral to save his life,
Down before the back, before you sail it over a receiver, he's going to do that, and he doesn't miss it very much.
You mentioned after the game on Sunday that you, for years, been going against Eric Kendricks on the silent tape before you even met him. What about the silent tape spoke loudest about his style of play?
Just when you watch a guy all week and then you play against them, and you can just tell whether it's mental or natural feel. Like they know how to flow with the quarterback. They know how to just melt into where the ball's going. Fred Warner's as good as anyone at it. But that's why I brought up I wanted to hire someone like KJ Wright, who I didn't know because I felt that way about him. I knew D'Amico, felt that way going against D'Amico. There's some guys who are so elite at that. Like Luke Kuechly was unbelievable at that. Sean Lee was unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, Luke Kuechly. My goodness, man. There's a name that it was a monster. It was Kuechly. It was Lewis. No, I'm not Lewis, but Lewis was already retired. So it was Kuechly. When Lewis retired, Patrick Willis was still around, but the argument was between Lewis and Willis, and then Lewis retired, and then it was like, okay, it was Kuechly and Von Miller, Patrick Willis, and then Bowman started coming up as a name as well, as elite linemen. But I remember Sean Lee too. Sean Lee played for the Cowboys. He was really good too. But I would say out of those bunch, between Sean Lee and Kendricks. No, that's a tough one. I would probably say, to me, man, they're both. Of course, Willis and Bowman in their prime were way better. They're Hall of Famers in my opinion. But Kuechly should be a Hall of Famer too, I believe. But man, what a guy, what a player he was, man.
People at that, just guys who seem like They have a natural feel for how the quarterback's rhythm is, how your offense's rhythm is, where they can predict things pre-snap, and they can always find a way to make the quarterback throw right to them.
Last one, guys.
The jet sweep just kind of more, was it 2 plays before one touchdown pass. Then he said Kubiak said between quarters, like, hey. Anyway, did he suggest it because you had just run the jet sweep, or how did that unfold?
I mean, Kub and I, that's how the whole game goes with me and Clay. I mean, Clay and I are together all week, so every play call, like, we go through. I mean, that's what we've been doing all yesterday until the players came in. So every play that we put in, we talk about how we want to do it, how you want to set it up, if you need to set it up, what coverages we like it against.
And that's going to be an interesting matchup. We have the Kubiak brothers going against each other. You have a Kubiak that's in Seattle, and you have a Kubiak that's in San Francisco. So I think they did like a small little piece this morning on one of the websites about the Kubiak brothers going against each other and how they take it, like they take it to the extreme. It's kind of hilarious.
Do we feel how bad of a call and how much will it set us back if we call it versus the wrong look? So that's something that we do on every single play all week. So that's why we're going to need a break from each other soon.
Last time your dad in a career playoff win, something you thought about, talked to your dad about this week or
no, my wife actually told me that on the plane, so it actually surprised me. I didn't believe it, so I thought it was like fake news or something. So I went back and tried to count them, and it was pretty cool. So I'll let him hear about it this week. All right, thanks guys.
All right, so that's pretty much it. Enjoyed it. This is an exciting time for us. I say enjoy it, relish it. I'll be back tomorrow to go over tomorrow's conference, which I believe will be sometime in the late afternoon, early evening, East Coast time. Please hit the sub button. I work very hard on these videos, whether it's wrestling, whether it's gaming, whether it's reaction videos to viral videos. Join me live, set your notifications, go to my other platforms and follow me as well. I greatly appreciate it, you guys. Sub up so I can reach my goal of getting 4,000 watch time hours and 1,000 subscribers. That way I can become a partner. And what that entails is, that means there'll be monetization. That means I can start doing this more and even though I do it as a living, but it'd be great to see my work pay off, even if it's a couple of dollars. It would be great just to see $2 and be like, wow, I've worked so hard over the years with YouTube channels getting flagged and yellow marked because I was trying to give you guys best content. And but anyway, I greatly appreciate you guys. Until next time. Yes, sir.
Pump fake by Montana. Launches it for the end zone. Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49. Joe Montana could very well be his 3rd Super Bowl MVP.
Right. And a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He